when I was a kid, I never talked
Where's the ladder?
It's got to be around here
that much,
somewhere.
and I just feel like I didn't get a lot of practice learning how to talk and what to say, because people kind of reward you when you're a kid for not talking. Like, when you talk, you get bullied,
Hey, try over there.
or your parents yell at you.
Got it.
Great, bring it over.
It seems like everybody always wants you to be quiet when you're a kid. And I feel like
Ladies first.
Ladies,
everybody wants
we must
other
be
people
thinking
to
of
like
something
them, but maybe I want that a little bit more
It's all relative.
than
this way.
a normal person. So, like, the best way to get everybody to like you is to just never say anything when you're a kid. But once you get older,
Down through here.
it starts to become weird that you're not saying anything, and you kind of
You think Robert's still got our guns?
For his sake.
weird people out, and it
Once we
gets
get our merchandise back, it should be easy to unload.
awkward and stuff.
Guys, when's that next shipment be?
We're meeting Bill next month. More pills, lots of ammo. Hold up. Spores.
Yeah, this beginning part's not too interesting if you've already played it, so I'll just talk over it.
Where the hell are all these coming from? The place was clear last time.
Coming out of something. Stay alert.
Been doing this for a half hour. That's pretty good. I don't know if I want to do it.
There's our culprit.
I can record for about 2 hours on the. I have a 64 gigabyte USB. I think it's about 2 hours.
Should be able to fit through here.
You okay?
Yeah. Damn ceiling's falling apart. Be careful. This way.
I feel like I'm doing okay. It was really hard to start.
Watch it, watch it. My mask broke. Don't leave me to turn. Please.
What do you want to do? Poor bastard.
Pick that up. How do you pick it up? I forget. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't like playing two games at the same time because I feel like you forget the controls. Most modern games have the same controls, but I felt like Red Dead Redemption had different controls. Yeah, it would have been really hard to do this on the Survivor. Ugh, I'm not used to talking this much. My mouth is... Oh, uh-oh. Ah. In Red Dead Redemption, you press circle to block and square to punch, so that's confusing.
Let's head back into the city.
So, maybe I should turn the volume up in my headset and I'll talk louder. Okay, up here, right? Is that where it came from? No.
you ask Bill to get you some of them air fresheners.
I feel like the gameplay
If they weren't expired, that'd be a good idea.
in this game's a lot better than Uncharted. Just like the whole scavenging and like building stuff is like
We're here.
it makes sense in the world to be like scavenging, and also it's kind of fun. So it's like, but in Uncharted, all you do is basically run around and shoot people. In the fourth one, I think they do
Plank fell
a
down.
bit. They have more puzzles, which is what they should focus on. But I replayed the first three recently, and there weren't really that many puzzles, and they weren't really that hard to figure out. Like, that should be a major part of the game, but a major part of the game is just shooting.
Here, pass it to me.
It's a bit heavy.
I think I can handle it.
All right.
I think part of my anxiety makes me, when I get anxious, I get like throat bubbles and stuff. I don't know, because I'm getting them right now.
There we go.
Wait, how do I get up?
Get your ass up here. Let's move.
Bossy today.
Getting close.
I think this happened the first time I played too. How do you get up? Oh yeah. That's not how you run. How do you run? That's not how you run. One.
Make sure there ain't any soldiers around.
It's clear. Come on.
When I play normally, I don't like to have subtitles on, because I feel like I look at the subtitles and then I don't look at the screen. And for this game, you really want to be just looking at the screen because it's really pretty to look at. But some games aren't that pretty to look at. Like I replayed Life is Strange, the first one,
I'm sure we'll need it.
and for that game, there's not the animations aren't that great for the characters.
Hey, little man.
Like you see, they reuse animations when they're talking.
No soldiers, none of Robert Smith, yeah?
You know he's expecting us.
Well, that'll make it more interesting. Good to go. Come on.
It's been 40 minutes. Do I only want to do an hour today? I don't know. I think I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Like I'll get better at this the more I do it.
Love you, bud.
You touch it, you buy it.
Tess, it's been a while. I don't visit us anymore.
Like this part is like, I don't know.
You think you were going?
Malik, sit back
Oh,
down.
sorry, Tess. Didn't realize you two were together. Go ahead.
Who's that?
An old headache. Don't ask.
Oh, the bottles don't move when you kick them? Oh yeah, they do. I was like, that would be uncharacteristic for this game.
been through here?
Half hour ago. He went back to the wharf. He's there now.
I should talk more because there's not really much interesting happening. I've never really told anybody about my anxiety. I've never been that honest
Here we go.
with anybody before. In my
Let us through.
audio journals that I do, I've talked about it, but that's it.
It's good for you.
Our beef isn't with you. We just want Robert. You don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around and leave now.
I'm not going anywhere.
I feel like part of
without Robert.
Bitch, bash your skull. Unless you
anytime I've been sad or
Dumbass
depressed,
outta
it's been because
take cover.
I feel like I'm not being honest with people. Like they don't know who I really am.
Get the angle.
I'm not able to share myself to other people. So maybe this will help with that. Yeah, when I first played this, Tess and Joel are kind of, they're not very likable because they just kind of kill everybody. But obviously,
Nicely done, Texas.
it makes sense
Me too.
when you see Joel
How the hell did he get all these?
change because of Ellie.
Robert's good at one thing. It's writing blank checks.
It's more impactful that you see like where he started.
Not going through here. Hey, boost me up.
So this is a really cool mechanic they do. Instead of loading screens, they do this thing where you have to like right now it's loading the next section of the game. So there's no loading screens.
Give me your hand.
The only problem is there's kind of a lot of them. So it gets kind of repetitive. But it's the best way I've ever seen to avoid a loading screen. Red Dead Redemption doesn't have loading screens. Does it?
Over here, Joel. More Robert's guys.
How do you know they're
I
coming?
wonder how Red Dead
Our guys
Redemption
died
does
trying
it.
to take Tess out. Guarantee that she and Joel are on their way here right now to get Robert.
Jesus. We shouldn't have taken this job.
Not our call. Let's spread out and make sure no one's creeping around in here.
I think when you play on hard, they don't give you those cutscenes. I mean those tips.
I meant to tell you, I was down on Jordan Street. These soldiers showed up.
Is he talking to somebody?
You take one out, I'll take the other.
Oops.
I got a cousin. Yeah. Idiot thinks he's gonna save the world.
I don't think they developed the whole Firefly thing as much as they could have. Like they bring it up now, and then at the end. But they could have done some more cool stuff with that, I think. With that group.
There's no more. Over there.
But it would have had to, it can't take anything away from Ellie and Joel. Which is what might have happened. Can pick up a brick. like Ellie and Joel's relationship is the most important, so that's what they should spend the most time on. And if they spend time on the Fireflies,
Let's search the area.
it might take away from their relationship and like your connection to how they're interacting with each other. Not used to talking this much. My throat is. I just got a key. I don't remember. Warehouse key. That's not a warehouse. Is it back here? That wouldn't make sense. Oh boy. There's gotta be. There you go.
Consolidate the crates in the south warehouse. Supplies are locked up.
Good. Do another once over and then head out. It's getting close to proof.
What about Robin? Who's he holding up with tonight? He's too paranoid to stay here by himself.
This is another mechanic that's interesting. It doesn't make sense in the world for Joel to be able to do this, to see through walls and stuff. But without it, I don't know how you would make the game, especially with the clickers and everything. It would be more frustrating than fun if you couldn't see through the walls and like plan out where you have to go.
I like watching you work.
But everything else in the game is like realistic. Like when you open your bag, you're still in the world. A lot of games do that. And you have to like, you can't pause to craft stuff. Maybe on the hardest difficulty, you can't do this. I don't know. Is there anybody left?
Good takedown.
I remember actually not liking this game for a while, the first time I played it. I think the part that really got me was when you start playing as Ellie up until the end. For some reason, that I started really connecting with the characters at that point. But up until that point, Joel isn't really.
Impressive.
He doesn't seem very interesting or likable. Oh, whoops. Did I make a mistake?
We should have brought more people.
They just slow us down.
Yeah, you're right. Come on, the docks are this way.
Okay, I've been talking for 50 minutes and there haven't been too many pauses. That's what I was worried about. Just like not saying anything. But I've been doing okay. Hopefully everything's working. Editing is not something I've ever done, so that might take a while. I'm recording the sounds separate on this program called Audacity. I'm sure everybody knows about it. I think it works pretty good. What am I doing? Didn't I come up? No, I didn't come up the stairs. Maybe I'll stop once we meet Ellie. I was thinking about on Saturdays I could do like 3 hours, then split that up into half-hour chunks.
Let's go wrap this up.
So that would be 6 episodes a week of half-hour episodes, which I think would be good. A good amount of time. The Game Grumps do 10
Let's be smart about this.
10
There's a lot of
10-minute episodes, but they're more entertaining. I watch this other channel. She used to play a lot of the Telltale games, like Walking Dead and Batman, and her episodes were half an hour long. And I always look forward to watching those. That's why I think it might be good for me to do The Walking Dead next as my next game, because she wasn't really an entertainer, but I still enjoyed watching her videos just because those games are all about choices and stuff, and it's interesting to see how people process those choices, even if they're not like making jokes all the time. What do you do with the brick? You just throw it. Oops. Uh-oh. That's not good. Ow. Oh, well, it's quicker that way. There must be more guys somewhere. Oops. Oh, it's a throw a punch. I don't remember that.
must have run in there. Let's go.
Always show 'em where you're going. Use the lights.
Back, get the fuck back!
You just want to talk, Robert?
We got fucking nothing to talk about!
Put your gun down.
Go fuck yourself!
He's running.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time in this beginning part. I guess they're just teaching you
Joel, this way.
like how to shoot and stuff.
Come on, he ran in here.
But like they already had the cold open, and now they have like another cold open with this until you meet Ellie. I guess it makes sense, just like developing how much Joel's changed
Almost got
in
him.
the past 10 years or whatever.
Joel, this way. Oh, hello, Robert.
Yes. Joel. No hard
He
feelings,
looks
right?
familiar. That's
Well, I don't
weird.
know.
God damn it!
We missed
He
you.
looks like the guy from Game of Thrones.
Whatever it is you heard, it ain't true, okay?
What's his name?
The guns. You
The
wanna tell us what
mercenary
guns
guy.
are?
Who's friends with
Yeah, sure.
Tyrion.
It's complicated.
Look, just hear me out on this. I got
Fuck! Stop! 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 Ugh.
Quit your squirming. You were saying?
I sold him.
I think maybe
Excuse me.
I didn't have much of a choice. I owed someone.
You owed us. I say you battled
the reason why this character arc kind of
I just need
I
more
didn't like
time.
it at first is because
You know, I might have done that if you hadn't tried to fuck
it's
me.
like the opposite of The Walking Dead,
Who has our
which
guns?
is a show I like, where
I can't.
Rick starts out as like
Just
a
give me a couple
normal cop, and he turns into
Who
like,
has our guns?
a morally ambiguous
It's the Fireflies.
protagonist.
I owed the Fireflies.
But Joel starts out at that point already.
What?
But that's the interesting thing about Joel is like he doesn't become good at the end,
Go in there, finish them off. Get the guns.
but all of his choices
Be
make
safe.
sense
Come on.
for his character.
Fuck those Fireflies. Just go
So it's
get
not
'em.
like a boring story where like
That is a stupid idea.
Joel meets Ellie,
Well, now what?
makes him become good.
We go get our merchandise.
Then like
back.
Ellie dies
I
or
don't know.
whatever.
Explain it to them.
But Joel has changed because of her, so he becomes a good person. That would be like a normal story
You
arc,
won't have to look very far.
kind of like what they're doing now with,
Yo,
or what they did with
Queen Firefly.
in Walking Dead with
Why are you here?
Carl dying and
Business.
stuff. But I actually didn't hate that.
You aren't looking so hot. Where's Robert?
We're at 1 hour. Should I do another hour?
I needed him alive. The guns he gave you, they weren't his to sell. I want them back.
Doesn't work like that, Tess.
The hell it doesn't.
I paid for those guns. You want them back? You're gonna have to earn them.
How many cards are we talking about?
I don't give a damn about ration cards.
But yeah, I really like Joel's story in
something
this
small
game,
about
and
this.
I'm excited what they do in the
You do
second.
that,
I don't know what they're gonna do.
then some.
How do we know you got
I
it?
think he plays Ellie the whole game in that one,
Yeah,
probably.
your military's been wiping you guys out.
Right about that. I'll show you the weapons.
The problem they're gonna have in the second one is like
I gotta move.
they're
What's
gonna
gonna
have to address the lie that Joel
I want to see those guns.
Follow me.
told Ellie at the end of this game, and
We gotta
they
get
could
out
do
of
that
here.
in a way
Now.
that is not interesting, or like the whole game is going to be about Ellie learns about the lie and then she doesn't like Joel, but then she does, or whatever.